Vibe coding just leveled up again. Everybody knows I've been preaching the gospel of vibe coding for the last 2 years. Expressing your ideas into AI and letting AI do the heavy lifting for you. We're entering the age of thinkers, not doers, but deep thinkers. And in the last month alone, the tools have gotten exponentially better. Last night, I discovered a very deadly combination that I would like to share with you guys that allowed me to create a very useful app in less than a day. And I should not have been able to make that app in a day. Today, I'm going to show you my exact pipeline using OpenAI's deep research for gathering information, OpenAI's O3 for system design and planning, and Anthropic's Claude Code for implementation. This combo is actually disgusting. I am building very complex applications in hours instead of days, and I was already really fast from the last Gemini video. And there's so many LARPs out here that say, you can't vibe code complex code bases. You're gonna vibe code security issues in your code base. It's a skill issue. It could be they saying this. They're saying this because they suck. It's a skill issue. I'm gonna show you how to not suck like them so you can actually create apps that you can sell to people and scale with proper security. So let's get right into it. I feel like the guy from the Matrix, bro. You wanna take the red pill or do you wanna take the blue pill? In this case, we're actually swallowing both of them. So let's break down the ultimate vibe coding combo, updated May 2025 until a new one comes out. Step by step. First, we need to understand what makes this combo so powerful in the first place. Let's start with the best tool that has come out in the last couple months that I use on a daily basis to learn everything that exists in the entire internet, and that is ChatGPT's deep research. This is the GOAT. Deep research from OpenAI does exactly what it says. It does deep research and gives you a comprehensive write-up on any topic. You could use this to research frameworks, APIs, architecture, use it to learn things in general. In our case for coding, we are using it to gather all the resources on the internet that we need to successfully code the product we want to make today. Now let's talk about O3, aka Einstein in a chatbot. This is without a doubt the world's best model to exist. It's on an entirely different playing field. You will have people that say, oh, O3 is overhyped. They don't know what they're talking about. Trust me, I use AI every single day of my life. This is the biggest improvement I have faced since Claude 3 came out, okay? It's actually insane. Now, here's the funny part. This model is correct. It understands complex problems and code bases extremely well. It is really good at system design and coding, but it is lazy at coding itself. It sucks at actually implementing the logic. It is amazing at creating the logic. Now, the hilarious thing about this model is that it's a genius. It is a D1 architect. It's great at system design. It is great at understanding complex problems and code bases and creating features, but it sucks at actually coding. It sucks at implementing the logic. It's lazy, bro. He's smart, but lazy. It's crazy. This is where my boy, my favorite model of all time, Claude, comes in. Anthropic recently released Claude Code, which is their form of a coding terminal agent. Now, whatever they put in the architecture design is busted, but it's closed source, so we don't know what actually happens. What we do know is it is really good at coding. And in combination with O3's instructions, Claude Code will run through the entire code base like a monster. Oh my God, he's so good. So Claude Code will handle the actual coding and logic implementation, while O3 handles the design for us. First, we use deep research to understand how to best build the product. In our case, I wrote the idea here first. I want to make a web app where I can talk to an AI and the AI talks back to me. That is the product I have in my head. Now, what we want to find out is what frameworks or APIs exist for this problem, what are the best practices, what architecture makes the most sense, and if there's any specific libraries or services that can make our job easier. You want to make sure that you click the deep research button to activate it and hit enter. Now, the best part about deep research is it will actually ask you questions to clarify the research. In this case, it's asking if we should handle both text voice. Are you aiming for? So let me answer these questions in real time. I want to speak, and I want the AI to speak back to me with voice. Are you aiming for real-time streaming conversation or turn-based real-time streaming conversations with mic? Do you have a preferred programming language or web stack? TypeScript. and Next.js. I'm gonna just put, yeah, TypeScript and React is fine. Should the app run in browser only? Browser only is fine for now. Are you using OpenAI models? I want to use OpenRouter. Side note, OpenRouter is a great unified interface for running any models, not just OpenAI, but Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, Meta. It has everything. So very useful for any APIs that involve LLMs. I'm going to answer the questions and it will do the best research on what we need to get back. So I'm going to jump cut to when the research is done because it low-key takes a minute. We got our deep research report back. Building a real-time browser-based AI voice assistant in React and TypeScript. Creating a real-time voice assistant in the browser involves streaming audio input, output, and coordinating speech recognition, AI processing, and speech synthesis, all with minimal latency. The user should be able to speak into a microphone, have their speech transcribed in real time, fed to an AI, and hear the AI spoken reply almost immediately. I recommend actually reading through the full research report to allow you guys to get a deeper understanding of the frameworks that exist and how to make this app. It will make you better engineers, trust me. In my case, I read the full report. I'm lying. I did not read the full report, but I already kind of knew what I wanted. So in this case, I like to butter up O3. I find that when you take O3 in a conversation, it gives a better output. So I said, hello, O3, you are so smart. How would you create this voice-to-voice AI agent browser app using Assembly AI for speech-to-text, OpenRouter for the LLM API, and 11 Labs for text-to-speech? It gave me a bunch of options in the research. I picked the ones that seemed to be the best, and I asked O3 to now generate a blueprint for me. What's really nice about O3 is its ability to search the web in its thought process. This is the most powerful feature that O3 gives, and honestly, it makes it state of the art. What's really nice is it then finds the API of the individual frameworks and services that I mentioned in addition to the research above, so it gets a deeper understanding itself. It then returns to me a high level flow of each vendor and how it would do this entire blueprint of an app. But there's another step. Once we have our research and did a little conversation just to make sure that O3 keeps our exact preferences in mind for the app, now we have to turn this into a cohesive plan. This is where O3 really shines the brightest. We're going to use a specific prompt that I have refined over time and am still refining. I'll put this in the description so you guys could copy and paste. I first prompt O3 with XML tags. XML tags are a very important way of prompting. It allows the LLM systems to understand your directions on a deeper level in a more structured way. I start with roles. I'm saying you're an expert level software engineer and system architect. This allows O3 to really step into the role of being an expert level software engineer. Now I have requirements. I ask him to start with a high level overview. I am explaining that we are giving directions to a coder agent, to instruct the coder agent, to clearly define the input-output contract definitions, include logical state diagrams. Clearly define input-output contract definitions, include logical state diagrams. AIs do really good with diagrams, with mermaid diagrams specifically, FYI. Define the interface first definition. Do not leave the base structure to the agent. The actual structure, the interface, the data structure of our app is the most important. That is what carries our entire product. We want the smart model to handle that. Include specific frameworks / packages we will be installing. Include example code snippets. Include vital logging statements that help us understand flow / can be used for debugging. Then we end with a goal. Create a detailed natural language prompt for the coder agent to follow that implements the solution you propose. Provide the instructions in XML tags to properly instruct and direct the agent like I've done to you. The reason this works so well is because we're not asking O3 to write the code directly. Remember, this guy is lazy. We're leveraging its strongest ability which is designing systems and creating detailed instructions from its design. By adding this prompt in the same chat log as the research and the conversation, O3 will generate a comprehensive plan based on all the research we did and format it in a very nice prompt for Claude Code to follow. We used to create PRDs or technical design documents, but I find this to be even better because we're just directly creating instructions for Claude Code to follow rather than letting Claude Code follow an ambiguous PRD where it might do what it wants instead of what we want. The instructions themselves look pretty nice. We get a high level overview. We are shipping a browser only voice assistant MVP that turns microphone speech into real-time text with assembly AI, with LLM reasoning, with open router, and a natural voice reply with 11 labs. Gives it some hard constraints, gives it the packages to work with. I assume this is up to date because he has internet access. We have the directory layout, input, output contracts. Oh, look at this nice logical state diagram. Okay. Going through, we got the interfaces. Now we have pseudocode driven implementation steps. AI is really good at following pseudocode. This so far seems to accurately grab the external API examples. It takes the assembly AI real-time stream, the open router streaming completion, and the 11 lab streaming text to speech, as well as some crucial logging statements. So this is what we would copy and paste into Claude Code. Let's get into setting up Claude Code to make this happen. To install Claude Code, you are just going to copy and paste the npm install. Again, links and resources in the description. So npm install Anthropic AI, paste that in. Now we type Claude in the terminal and we will go through the initiation. I personally have the new Claude Pro Max plan. If you don't want to pay $100 to $200 a month, then you could use the Anthropic console for API usage billing. Keep in mind, Claude Code do be a little pricey in terms of it will cost dollars per code base you work on. But for the time you save, it's better than hiring a developer. Let's be real, guys. So I'm going to log in with Claude and authorize that. And we will be taken back to the terminal where we then get to interact with Claude. Now I have a little secret sauce to share with you guys, and that's the Context7 MCP for the Claude Code agent. What the hell is an MCP? I've heard it on Twitter. People are using it as a hype cycle and developers are making useless MCP servers. Well, MCP is model configuration profiles. They're basically plugins for Claude that allow them to use tools. In this case, we want to use the Context7 MCP for our Claude Code terminal agent. This gives our terminal agent access to the most up-to-date documentation for libraries and frameworks that we're working with. Because models at a base level have knowledge cutoffs, its internal documentation might be out of date, and it causes a lot of the issues that you may struggle and face when it comes to coding with AI. This MCP helps mitigate that damage a lot. And installing it is fairly simple. You're going to go to the GitHub. You're going to scroll down to where it says install in Claude Code. You're going to copy this command, go back to the terminal, and paste it in. That's it. Now when we go to Claude, you should see that it finds one MCP server. If we type MCP, it should show Context7. What's really nice about Context7 in our case is it has access to the assembly AI documentation, the 11 labs documentation, and the open router documentation, which are the three main frameworks we're working with. It's time for the fun part. I am going to navigate to my developer folder I have in my Mac. I'm going to create a voice agent folder for the code base we're working with. I'm going to go to the voice agent folder and open Claude. This opens Claude in the directory that we're currently in. Now I'm going to copy the instructions that O3 made for us earlier, and I am going to write this in. I am going to give you instructions to follow. It is vital that you use the Context7 MCP to get the up-to-date API documentation of frameworks we're working with. Paste instructions. The reason why I am first instructing Claude to use the Context7 MCP is because if we don't instruct it to use the Context7 MCP, then it simply won't use it. With that, I paste in the prompt, we hit enter, and we watch magic happen. This is the part where you could alt tab and doom scroll or be healthy and meditate and eat food or read a book or walk away from your computer, socialize and make friends. There's a lot you could do, and then the time it just codes up the entire code base for you, which is really nice. However, before you leave, it's going to ask your permission to make all these batch commands. In this case, I hit yes. If we hit Shift plus Tab at the same time, you can see on the bottom left right here, it auto accepts edits, which we wanted to do. I don't think it will ask me for any more permissions past this point. So enjoy the time lapse. The code is done. It says it has implements everything. And I went to run the code and it actually ran. Now I did run into an error here on the side, and what I'm doing right now is I pasted the error into Claude Code just to see if it could fix it in one go. If not, then we are going to take our debug process into a workflow of take our entire code base, give it to O3, give it all of the logs and context that needs to debug the problem, figure out the problem to debug, and give it back to Claude Code to implement the fix. In this case, though, the entire app seems to work. It's just a couple bugs here that we gotta tighten up. Our app seems like it's very close to working. There's no more errors. But before we continue to bug fixing, we have to do two very important steps. One is document our code. Two is push to GitHub. This will allow us to freely make changes. Now, Claude did a very good job at coding up this entire code base. So I'm going to instruct, I need you to document all the code you did in docs, write detailed documentation and anything else that developers might need to know to build on top of this. Now, by asking Claude Code in the same chat session that it coded up the entire code base, it is going to make really good documentation. So we'll cut to when this is done. Okay, it wrote some detailed documentation. Look at the architecture and flow. God damn. This is nice. This is nice and good documentation. This will serve as a very strong base for explaining the logic and our flow. Now, for the final step of the process is push to GitHub. Always save your progress, commit early, commit often, push that shit to GitHub so you don't lose anything, and it serves as a checkpoint for your LLM agent. I am lazy, so I'm going to tell the cursor terminal agent to push my entire code base to GitHub, please. And I'm gonna let it push to GitHub. Make sure that you guys add your .env to the git ignore before you push. Please don't embarrass me. Do it for me. What are you asking me to manual? Making me do this manually? No, push it for me. What are you doing, bro? Come on, push to GitHub. Yes, git add dot, git commit m, git branch main, git push u origin main. Now our code base has been pushed to GitHub. It is nicely written. We got our project structure. We did not push any .env variables, and this is good. Now we could get to the bug fixing step. Let me show you guys how I do that. Oh my god, y'all. So my problem, right? First off, to debug, we have to add better debugging logs. So I went into cursor and I pinged the files we were working with, and I asked it to make detailed debugging logs, which gave us very good detailed debugging logs. And I went to O3 and I kept bouncing around trying to figure out what this issue was. I used repo prompt to take our code base and give it to O3, and nothing was working. It turns out my problem that O3 found for me is that real time isn't enabled for the key because I had to use my credit card. So it turns out this app actually fucking worked in one shot. Look at this. Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm just a computer program, so don't have feelings. But I'm here and ready to help you. How can I assist you today?
I'm doing well. How are you? I don't. It worked. The app got one shot. It was just my fault. It was just my fault. Oh my god, the app got one shot. Oh. Okay, now that's great. The MVP worked from Claude. Everything works fantastic. However, the audio does come in a little buggy. So now we're going to use O3 to fix this feature for us. And I'm going to show you guys how I use repo prompt to take our entire code base, give it to O3, have O3 do the same workflow that we did initially to fix this problem, give that fix to Claude Code, and watch it do magic. Before we do anything, push to get add dot get commit m fixed voice feature get push to get. In order to get our full code base and give it to O3 as context, I'm going to be using repo prompt. It is free up to 32k tokens. In our current case, if I add the voice agent code base we're working with and I select the files that we need to focus on, it is only 12k token context. That means that using the free tier repo prompt, it fits. If we want to use a website-based repo prompt, there's repo mix, which effectively does the same thing. You could select a folder and add it to the website, and it will return a copy paste that you can take and also give to O3. However, in our case, we're using repo prompt. Now, context is always going to be everything. In our case, when we talk to the voice agent, what's your name?
I'm called ChatGPT. How can I assist you today?
We can see that it kind of bugs and we get this console error where use voice has error playing audio encoding error. This is very important context to take and grab and give to O3. So I'm going to copy all of the text from the console, and in repo prompt, I'm going to write that in. I have a hotkey set up with Raycast, which I put in a tweet, which I'll also put in the description. I'm just using this to make XML tags really easy to write. I'm going to write browser logs and paste in the browser logs in here. I'm going to do the same for server logs because we also have server logs I would like O3 to have access to. Our server logs look like this. I think I grabbed it from, yeah. So from right here to right here, I'm going to paste in our server logs so that O3 has both the browser logs and the server logs. And you know what? For good measure, I'm gonna take a screenshot and paste it in because it has good pictures. You might as well give it more context. I'm going to describe our app MVP currently works. I can press the microphone, speak into it. It detects when I stop talking. It generates an LLM response, and 11 Labs will take the stream inputs and stream voice output. However, there is a problem. The audio does fully play, but it comes in laggy chunks as if it were glitchy. I can make out the voice, but it's not smooth or clear at all. I'm also going to explain there is an error that displays on the console, on the browser side that says, I'm going to go and grab this specific error. Even though we did give it the logs, I just want to make sure it focuses on it. So I'm going to paste in the voice error playing audio, encoding unable to decode audio data. And I am going to copy this entire repo prompt code base right here and give it to O3. Let's add the text, please fix. Now we're going to wait for O3 to finish the text. Repo prompt is cool. Little bonus while we're waiting. You could actually add custom prompts in if you click new and type in prompts. I have one prompt that I really like that I save in here, which I'll also put in the description, called Ultra Deep Thinking Mode. And this instructs O3 to ultra deep think. And it seems to work well most of the time. So I just kind of naturally include that in a lot of prompts that I use. Anyways, it's thinking, it's gonna solve our problem. We'll come back to it when it's done. O3's response says that whatever function we're using can only decode a complete self-contained file. So anytime we're getting the stream, it's laggy. It recommends media source-based streaming for us to do, as well as the code to tweak it. I am going to paste the same prompt that we used earlier. Let's focus on the recommended fix. So once O3 takes our code base, thinks about how to debug it, and gives us an answer, I'm going to use the same prompt that we used earlier to create instructions to give to Claude Code. I'm going to start a new Claude Code agent, this time inside Cursor, just for ease of use and because I'm used to this, and wait for this to finish. So high level overview, our MVP is a full stack voice assistant with client plus server. Problem: client tries to play raw MP3 frames. That API requires a complete file, so most chunks fail to decode, causing the laggy glitchy sound. The strongly recommended solution is to switch the playback pipeline to media source extensions. The server already streams valid MP3 frames. We just need to treat them as a live media stream on the client. Add 2 tiny control messages so the client knows sentence boundaries. Client creates media source, source buffer, and append buffers, each binary chunk. Browser handles timing and audio. Is perfectly smooth. We get the full response. Sometimes it'll bug. Usually it's supposed to fit in this first code block. If it does bug, copy the full message and just clean it up right here in chat is typically what I do. So now we got our full instructions tag wrapped. I'm going to go to Claude. I'm gonna just paste it in. I don't even got to do anything else. And while this is running up, once this is done, then we should have that laggy, chunky bug fixed. Claude Code is complete. Now let's go and test it. npm run dev. Go to our app. Start recording. Tell me a story.
Once upon a time, in a tranquil village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a kind-hearted woman named Elara. She was known for her vibrant garden, a riot of colors where every flower told a story. People often marveled at her ability to make plants bloom, believing she possessed a special magic. Elara believed that every flower had its own personality. Her daisies were cheerful companions dancing in the wind.
Let's go! That entire process will give you high quality, well-structured code that can handle complex requirements. Now, vibe coding is not about being lazy. It's about leveraging AI to accelerate your productivity and creativity. I am actually Trojan horsing you guys to become good engineers and you don't even know it. Anyways, like I said, people who claim vibe coding can't handle complex tasks, well, you're not a real software engineer because you vibe code. It's a skill issue, and you're better than them. You're gonna be better than them because their ignorance holds them back. Anyways, by combining deep research, O3, and Claude Code, you could practically build anything. You could handle complex authentication, secure payment systems, real-time applications, all while producing, dare I say, better code than human programmers? Oh my, how controversial. There is the next video I'm going to be posting where we dive deeper into actually handling how to document your code base and properly document authentication and security and features to continue to build heavier code bases. Consider this video a part 1 of that process. This is just one workflow I've discovered. There are quite literally an infinite number of workflow combinations out there, so it gets really overwhelming. So I try to stay on top of it for you guys and share what works the best for me. This has worked the best for me out of everything else I've tried so far. If you guys found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel for more vibe coding content and all around AI content. I'll continue sharing the most efficient workflows as the AI landscape evolves. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I actively engage with every single comment to provide clarification when needed, so don't be shy. Please leave a comment. For businesses and business owners out there and businessmen looking to stay ahead of the curve, I actually run an AI consultancy called Agency 42. The link is right here and in the bio. We integrate AI into your business processes, build custom AI pipelines, and we train your staff in utilizing AI effectively and efficiently to get that cog going. So if that interests you, hit us up at agency42.com. Finally, I built a Discord community of vibe coders that are growing, and they talk and they help each other every day. I also live in there, so I welcome you guys to join so we can all grow together as AI continues to grow and diff every single other human in existence who doesn't use this technology. Finally, remember, good vibe coding requires good vibes. Be specific, be creative, and most importantly, be intentional with your process, and you will make apps you didn't even know was possible. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.